What we've done, Chairman, is we've taken a property and we broke down the tax bill so that you can see how the property is valued and how it translates over to the tax bill and really how the homestead float works. So this is a property that was purchased in 2004, and of course everything in the property tax industry is based on the status of the property on January 1. So the first year that they owned the property, 2005, the Board of Tax Assessors had a value of $468,590. Now the assessed value is nothing but 40% of that number, and that's on the estimate that's on the assessment notice that we mail out in the spring. As you come across taxable value, you notice is considerably less. The taxable value is the actual value.
Got a longer arm than you do, Steve. I'll help you out here.
Thank you.
There's a taxable
value. That's considerably less. That's because that's the assessed value from the prior year.
Right.
So the law that went into effect in 2001, the Homestead Float Law, said you go back to the year before the first year of homestead.
Before that,
back to
before that value, year before
that value, right. So we go back to what was the assessed value in 2004? It was $137,684. That now becomes the fixed value for that property, as long as that person owns the home.
I think it's important to emphasize fixed value.
Yeah, fixed value.
Right.
Now, for technicality purposes, if somebody were to add a swimming pool down the line, we just add the contributory value of that. So there would be a way that value might change if somebody were to do something to their property. But nonetheless, you see an exemptions amount here of $49,000. That's nothing more than the difference between those two numbers right there.
Subtract this from this, and you get $49,752.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, in 2005, the millage rate on the general fund was 6.85. There's the calculation. And you notice that the value, or excuse me, that the amount due on that portion of the tax bill, $943. Now we have the other portions of the tax bill. In 2005, you have the bond, county fire, county school. There is no, and the state, there is no float program for any of those lines.
Right.
So you have a $10,000 exemption amount for the school, and at the time, in 2005, there was a levy for the state. And so the total tax bill was $4,800 in 2005.
But out of that, the general fund tax was only $943.
Right. Majority of that is the school portion, as was mentioned at the beginning of your program.
Because that's taxed against the full assessed value of the home. 187 minus the homestead exemption. So the school tax at that time was
$3,300, which the millage rate is 19.
Right.
19. So that's a majority of the bill there.
All right.
Now, as we move ahead to 2017, that property, the Board of Tax Assessors have a value of $655,000 on that. So the 40% number is $262,000. But you'll notice that the taxable value has not changed since they purchased the home 2005, their very first year that they had the property. Right. It's the same.
Right.
The exemption amount has gone up because that's the difference of those two numbers. So $124,000 is the difference between those two numbers there. And of course, our millage rate last year was $676. So if you notice that $930, so this person paid less in 2017 to the general fund than they did in 2005.
Right.
The other amounts are appropriately associated with the applicable millage rate for 2017. And we have 0 for the state because that still shows on the tax bill. However, the state does not have a millage rate any longer. So the total bill was $6,500 last year, but they actually were paying less to the county and the general fund.
Yeah, and that goes to the narrative you hear from a lot of people that say, well, I paid more taxes last year. Mm-hmm. Yes, you did. Yeah. But you didn't pay more taxes for the general fund part. You paid more taxes against the other 3 parts of your tax bill.
Correct. Correct.
Because again, the fire fund, the county bond, and the Cobb school, those get no exemptions.
That's correct.
For the most part.
And so if we were to roll this ahead to 2028, Chairman, if let's just say for argument's sake that we had another $200,000 on it, now the property was $855,000, one thing is for sure, that taxable value would still be $137,000.
And if the millage rate was the same, you'd still only pay $930.
That's right.
And so again, the only way that you're going to be paying more or less for in your taxes for the general fund part of your taxes is if the millage rate goes up or down.
That's right.
It has nothing to do with the assessed value of your home.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's the key to understanding here, and that's what Gabriel gives the pause that how is it I can pay more, but I pay less?
Right.
All right. Well, you pay more because the other three parts of your tax bill, that's where the increase comes from.
Yep. And for technicality purposes, the bond was even lower
It was.
in 2017 and then in 05. So.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And we have had a team of employees at the town hall meetings, and we will continue to do so. So if folks want to know what their taxable value is, they can come by our office, they can give us a call, they can go to our website, cobbassessor.org, or they can come and visit us at one of the town hall meetings. We've got some folks that are working those. Special room off to the side. We'll be happy to look up what yours was based on the assessment notice for 2018, and you can compare it to the 1.7 mils to see exactly what the increase would be
Right.
for the general fund.